Arirang Special.
An up-and-coming force in the global economy, Central and South America are becoming a land of opportunity for Korea's economic growth. In the 1960s, Central and South America were lands of opportunity for Korea. With great expectations to find work, many immigrated to work in agriculture. 50 years later, in 2015, President Park embarked on a four-nation tour in Central and South America, a new market with purchasing power to revitalize Korea's economy. Leaving Seoul Airport on April 16, President Park's 12-day-long sales diplomacy in Colombia, Peru, Chile, and Brazil began. In this tour, the largest ever economic delegation from diverse fields such as IT, healthcare, and energy accompanied President Park. This reflects President Park's mission to expand economic cooperation in keeping with the rising demands in high-value products and services in Central and South America. Central and South America are lands of opportunity and Korea's partner of coexistence. Korea's economic domain now crosses the Pacific Ocean and opens wide in Central and South America. On April 16th, President Park arrived in Colombia, the first destination in the Central and South American tour. Colombia is the only nation in Central and South America that entered the Korean War and fought on Korea's behalf. A traditional ally, Colombia signed the Free Trade Agreement with Korea in February 2013, its first ever with an Asian nation. The third FTA signing in Central and South America, which came after Chile and Peru, served as an opportunity to expand Korea's economic domain. However, the FTA hasn't gone into effect yet. The Korean National Assembly has completed the ratification, while the process is still pending in the Colombian National Assembly. When the Korea-Colombia FTA goes into effect, the total value of commerce is predicted to increase more than five-fold. The Central and South American construction market has recorded an annual growth of 18.6% over the past 3 years. Especially, Colombia is shifting its national focus to energy and mineral development, manufacturing growth, internet network, and national supply chains. It presents a great opportunity for Korean companies. Through the visit, President Park made efforts to expand opportunities for Korean businesses to enter Colombia. A Korea-Colombia Business Forum was held on April 17th. With her congratulatory address, President Park emphasized the continuation of the nation's alliance from the Korean War to economic cooperation today.
이제는 기존의 협력을 넘어서 ICT, 인프라, 보건의료, 에너지, 신산업 등 다양한 분야로 협력을 확대해 나가야 할 시점입니다.
President Park emphasized that the free trade agreement between the two nations must enter into force soon, and electronic commerce needs to expand to increase the base for commerce.
양국의 머나먼 지리적 거리를 극복하기 위해서는 전자통관, 전자무역 분야의 협력이 매우 중요하다고 생각합니다.
Remarkably, President Santos of Colombia was in attendance at the business forum to express his interest and anticipation for the two nations' economic cooperation.
Y que se debe generar cuando dos naciones como Corea y Colombia deciden trabajar juntas.
At the Memorial Monument of Bolivar, Colombia's independence war hero and first president, President Park offered a floral tribute. President Santos ordered a cavalry escort for President Park's visit. The Korea-Colombia summit meeting took place in the presidential palace. President Park requested that the FTA signed between the two nations in 2013 goes into effect soon. When the FTA goes into effect, Korea will get one step closer to realizing the FTA belt in the Americas and the Pacific Ring. With the stepwise abolition of 35% customs duty on automobiles, an increase in car exports is expected. Through the summit meeting, Presidents Park and Santos signed a memorandum of understanding in 18 industries.
이번 방문 계기에 에너지 신산업과 치안 및 보건, 금융지원, 인프라 건설 등을 포함해서 총 18개에 이르는 기관 간 약정이 체결돼서 양국 간 협력을 다변화하기 위한 중요한 토대를 마련하게 된 것을 뜻깊게 생각합니다.
Korea was especially granted inroads to electronic commerce and home shopping. The e-commerce market in Central and South America reached $75 billion in 2013 and is rapidly growing, with an annual increase of 25%. When Korea's internet shopping malls enter Central and South America, exports are expected to increase by $3.2 billion within 5 years. Cooperation in an electric bus project totaling $1.08 billion, electrical grid business, and new energy development were decided. In addition, Korea's businesses will be involved with the construction of subways and oil refineries led by the Colombian government. On April 18th, the third day in Colombia, President Park met with Korean immigrants and provided encouragement. She stated that she was proud of the Koreans who successfully established their lives at an altitude of 2,600 meters on the other side of the world.
그 보고타 남쪽에 한인 수련원을 만들어서 건강상 이렇게 좀 저지대에서 요양을 하실 필요가 있다는 얘기를 듣고 참 얼마나 그 어려운 도전을 극복하면서 이곳에서 털을 닦으셨는지 실감이 났습니다.
She also praised the people's efforts to coexist with the local community, noting their support of Korean War veterans' descendants in Colombia. Then President Park invited the families of Korean War veterans to offer a word of gratitude.
우리의 우정은 언제나 지속되고 깊어질 것이며 우리 두 나라 후손들의 후손들이 이 우정을 기억할 것입니다.
In the Colombia visit, President Park concentrated on sales diplomacy in order to turn Korea's ally in Central and South America into an economic partner. With the signing of 18 Memorandum of Understanding, the two nations established a foundation for further economic diversification. On April 18th, after completing the scheduled activities in Colombia, President Park arrived in Peru, the second nation of the tour. With a rapid growth in market size recently, Peru is leading the economic growth of Central and South America. As such, it's necessary to expand Korea's economic cooperation at this point. Peru is a comprehensive strategic partner and an economic partner through the FTA. Since the FTA went into effect in August 2011, the total trade with Peru grew 1.4 times between 2010 and 2014, recording a fast growth. Peru is also a nation with much potential of cooperation in cultural contents. Centering around K-pop, there are 124 Korean Wave organizations and 420,000 members. The Korean Wave boom is intense in Peru. Next stop was a dinner banquet with local Koreans in Peru. President Park met with those who live on the opposite side of the world. She thanked them while emphasizing that it was their effort that grew the Korean community from just 10 chicken sexers 40 years ago to what it is now.
땀과 눈물로 페루에서 성공 신화를 써가고 계신 우리 동포 여러분에게 힘이 되는 자랑스러운 대한민국을 건설하는 일에 최선을 다하겠습니다.
She emphasized that Peru is an important nation to raise awareness of Korea's reunification efforts because it has diplomatic relations with North Korea as well. At the summit meeting with President Humala of Peru, President Park offered to share Korea's knowledge and experience to support Peru's future strategies. To realize their goals, the two nations signed a total of 20 MOUs. Telemedicine cooperation, joint development of medical equipment, and Peru's Rimac River, and cooperation in new energy industry are the focal points.
이번에 보건의료, 전자정부, 치안, 교육 등 다양한 고부가 가치 분야에서의 정부 간 약정이 체결된 것은 양국 간 새로운 단계의 협력을 알리는 것이라고 평가합니다.
With the establishment of the telemedicine system, Korea can enter the medical market of $12 billion in Central and South America. In addition, the export of Korea's cultural contents is predicted to expand with the signing of MOU between network companies that can spread Korean pop culture. Through the summit meeting, the possibility of exporting Korea's F-A-50 increased as Peru looks to import fighter jets worth $2.16 billion.
페루가 추진 중인 다목적 고등훈련기 사업 등 다양한 분야에서 필요한 협력을 지속해 나가기로 하였습니다.
Businesses that comprised the economic delegation accompanying President Park secured contracts worth $154 million through one-on-one consultations with Peruvian businesses. President Park visited the conference and offered encouragement to the entrepreneurs. About 80 small and mid-sized businesses participated in the conference, including waste management companies and diamond tool manufacturers.
También es muy importante el reuso de las aguas residuales, sí, es cierto.
서로가 윈윈하는
네.
아주 좋은 케이스라고 생각이 됩니다.
It was the first time President Park visited a one-on-one consultation conference during her tour. It speaks to her practical diplomacy that plans to make such conferences a critical part of summit meetings. The Korea-Peru Business Forum and Cultural Performance were held in a hotel in Lima, the capital of Peru. Sponsored by the Trade Association, COTRA, and Lima's Chamber of Commerce, both nations' presidents, the Korean Economic Delegation, and local businesses totaling 350 were in attendance. President Park watched the Korea-Peru traditional music performance, which served as an opening ceremony for the Business Forum. Through her congratulatory speech, President Park emphasized strengthening the two nations' relations by diversifying economic cooperation and continuing the progress that followed the FTA in 2011. Notably, she addressed the need for better cooperation in electronic commerce and distribution logistics to overcome their distance.
ICT, 전자정부, 신재생, 보건, 의료 등 다양한 분야에서 양국 간 협력을 강화한다면 이것은 자연스럽게 교역 활성화로 이어지게 될 것입니다.
At the National Congress of Peru, President Park was awarded the Great Cross Medal, Peru's highest honor. Congress Chairperson Solorzano stated that the Congress decided to award President Park for her immense contributions in improving the relations of the two nations. President Park requested the support of the Congress to build upon the two nations' 50 years of amicable relationship to become partners in the future. The last stop in Peru was the celebration ceremony for joint production of Korean training planes. The ceremony celebrated the first flight of planes jointly produced in Peru, and both President Park and President Humala attended the event. President Park presented a red scarf, the symbol of the Korean Air Force, to the 10 pilots assigned to control the plane's first flight. Also, through her congratulatory remarks, she praised the effort of individuals from both nations in the past 2 years and stressed the need to cooperate in many other fields in addition to the aviation industry. After touring the manufacturing factory, the President of Peru stated that he wishes the two nations' technological cooperation will continue to supersonic multi-purpose jets beyond basic training planes, shedding positive forecast on exports. If the export of Fa-50 is signed, Korea's military authorities estimate a total of $2 billion in exports, including 24 jets, pilot training packages, and munitions. Many positives came out of efforts toward mutual partnership with Peru, the leader of economic growth in Central and South America. A total of 20 MOUs in healthcare, new energy, e-commerce, and other fields were signed, opening opportunities for Korean businesses. With President Park's visit, cooperation between the two nations expanded to high-value industries. On April 21st, President Park arrived in Santiago, the capital of Chile, the third nation of the tour. Chile was the first nation in South America to recognize the Korean government in May 1949. Also, it was the first nation to sign the FTA with Korea and holds economic significance in that regard. In 2003, prior to the Korea-Chile FTA going into effect, Chilean agricultural and livestock imports totaled $6.9 million. Last year it was $850 million. It's an increase of almost 12-fold in 11 years. As the Korea-Chile FTA enters a stable stage, Korean import companies have expanded business relations even to neighboring countries. Chile served as a stepping stone to the Central and South American market. In addition, with the signing of Korea-US FTA and Korea-EU FTA, Korea's FTAs cover regions that comprise 73% of global GDP. Korea's FTA economic domain is the third largest next to Chile and Peru, nations that are actively opening their markets. President Park took steps forward to advance the two nations' relations from economic cooperation to something more. The first stop was a banquet dinner with local Koreans in Chile. President Park provided encouragement to those who overcame a lot to settle down in South America.
칠레의 지역적 특성을 고려해서 먼 거리에 거주하는 동포들을 주기적으로 방문하고 북부와 남부 지역에는 영사협력원, 명예영사 제도를 활용해서 필요할 때 즉시 대응할 수 있는 체제를 강화해 나가겠습니다.
She revealed that Korea and Chile are entering into a new phase toward advancement and that they will strengthen their future-oriented frame of cooperation together. President Park's determination led to fruition at the summit meeting with President Bachelet of Chile. The two presidents signed 15 MOUs and agreed to expand the nation's cooperation in healthcare, new and renewable energy, and high-value industries. With the signing of Small Business Creation and Cooperation MOU, Korea agreed to send 90 young IT teams in the next 10 years to the Silicon Valley, the Silicon Valley of Chile.
우리 두 정상은 특히 중소기업의 창조경제 주역으로서의 중요성에 공감하면서 양국 중소기업들의 경쟁력 강화와 교류 확대를 위해 전자상거래 플랫폼 활성화 등 필요한 노력을 경주해 나가기로 하였습니다.
Since 5 years ago, Chile has been making efforts to attract outstanding business founders around Silicon Valley. With the recent MOU, Korea's entrepreneurs are predicted to enter Central and South America regularly. The first working holiday agreement with a Central and South American nation was signed at the summit meeting. Following the summit meeting, President Park attended the Business Forum for Entrepreneurs from Korea and Chile. She pointed out that ideal economic partners Korea and Chile need to advance their relation to comprehensive strategic cooperation through e-commerce vitalization and direct line opening. On the last day in Chile, President Park called the King Sejong Station at the South Pole to encourage the researchers and check on the status of the station.
부회장님이시죠? 남극은 그 혹한의 볼모지로 알고 있는데 그 어려운 환경 속에서 정말 고생이 많습니다. 그래도 임무 수행에 최선을 다하고 있는 여러분의 노고에 감사를 드립니다.
The outcome of sales diplomacy in Chile, Korea's first ever FTA nation, was plentiful. The foundation for Korea's youth startups' entrance into Central and South America was set, and Korea was given the green light on industries like infrastructure, new and renewable energy, and cultural contents. Along with the first working holiday agreement with a South American nation, it was a time of comprehensive and strategic planning. On April 23rd, President Park arrived in Brazil, the final destination of the tour. In 1959, Brazil was the first nation in Central and South America to establish a diplomatic relation with Korea. With a population of over 200 million, Brazil is an up-and-coming powerhouse with world's 7th largest economy. With Korea's conglomerate factories set up, Brazil is utilized as a base for Central and South America. On April 24th, President Park and President Dilma held a summit meeting and secured a footing for diversifying and accelerating economic cooperation.
양국 협력의 잠재력은 지금보다 훨씬 더 크다고 봅니다. 이에 우리 두 정상은 다양한 분야에서의 협력을 활성화하기 위한 여러 방안들을 협의하였습니다.
First, to facilitate the entrance of Korea's skilled labor force into Brazil, an employment center called K-Move Center will set up in Brazil. Also, cooperation in telemedicine, such as the development of the Amazon hospital ship, was put in gear to strengthen Brazil's weak medical infrastructure. A total of 25 memorandum of understanding were signed, including the export of Korea's creative economy system and e-commerce cooperation. President Park continued to meet with entrepreneurs in Brazil as well. In attendance at the Korea-Brazil Business Forum, President Park emphasized that Korea will gain an inroad into the Central and South American market, while Mercosur will gain one in the Asian market. On April 25th, President Park attended a cultural event which consisted of a Korea-Brazil fashion show and a K-pop performance to complete the tour of 4 Central and South American nations. The tour of Central and South America concluded with cultural diplomacy aimed at expanding the Korean wave. Central and South America is a huge market with 600 million people. Traveling to Colombia, Peru, Chile, and Brazil, President Park emphasized their mutualistic partnership with Korea and built a foundation to expand Korea's cooperation to high-value industries. Foreign press also showed interest in President Park's sales diplomacy in Central and South America. Colombia's major daily newspaper El Colombiano, which publishes nationally, reported an interview with President Park. It explained that because Central and South America have abundant natural resources and labor forces, while Korea excelled in IT, science, and technology, mutualistic cooperation can achieve big synergy. Regarding Korea's cooperation strategy with Colombia, it predicted that trades will diversify and increase in volume when the two nations' FTA goes into effect. In a written interview with Chile's major daily newspaper El Mercurio, President Park stated that Central and South America are important cooperation partners that have abundant human resources, natural resources, an enormous market, and international influence. She stated that Korea hopes to share development experiences with Central and South American nations and expand its cooperation to high-value industries like ICT, biotech, new and renewable energy, healthcare, culture, and arts. Regarding relations with North Korea, she stated that Korea will remain patient and use communication and cooperation to change North Korea into a responsible member of the international society. As the foreign press took note, the biggest accomplishment of the Central and South American tour was the shift of economic cooperation to high-value industries. The 12-day Central and South American tour was focused on sales diplomacy. In the new era of the Pacific Rim, Korea has built a foundation for mutualistic cooperation with 4 core nations. Korea has found an opportunity to revitalize Korea's economy through large emerging markets. Across the Pacific Ocean, Korea now anticipates an economic boom in Central and South America, as well as the second Middle East economic boom.